In the heart of London, where gas lamps illuminated the foggy streets, where the killer's shadow first loomed. His victims were often poor women who walked the streets at night, trying to survive by trading their bodies for money. The killer would leave behind cryptic messages or strange signs near the bodies, taunting the police and the public alike. With each new crime, the terror in London grew. The killer's audacity knew no bounds. He seemed to be mocking the authorities, challenging them to catch him. But this brutal killer had no intention of paying for their services. Instead, none of these theories could be proven, and the killer's identity was never revealed. To this day, the case of Jack the Ripper remains one of the most haunting mysteries in history. He stalked them, targeting women who were alone and vulnerable. Fear hung heavy in the air. It was the late 19th century, and the city was in the grip of a terrifying mystery. In the blink of an eye, he would strike. The women's mutilated and disfigured bodies would be found lying in the streets, the killer having worked with a precision that shocked the entire city. Some victims had their throats cut open as if the killer were performing a ghastly surgery. Others had their bodies carved up in ways that seemed almost ritualistic. The newspapers called him Jack, the Unknown Killer, or Jack the Ripper. He haunted the narrow, dark alleys of London, preying on the unsuspecting and leaving behind a trail of terror. The story began in the poverty-stricken district of Whitechapel. Then, and as if that wasn't enough to send shivers down the spines of Londoners, the police were baffled. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to track down the killer. Rumors began to spread like wildfire. Some people whispered that the killer was a madman, driven over the edge by an insane urge to kill. Others claimed that the killer was a wealthy man, someone who could evade the police because of his status and power. But in the end, as the fog rolled in over London that night, carrying with it the scent of fear and death, the story of Jack the Ripper became a chilling tale whispered in the dark. A story of a city held hostage by a killer who struck terror into the hearts of its people and whose identity remains a secret buried in the mists of time.